What if I told you that the hardest part of calisthenics has nothing to do with strength? What if the reason 70% of people quit isn't because they're weak, but because nobody ever told them what level they're actually on? Stay with me. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the exact 5 levels of calisthenics, what they are, what they demand, and most importantly, what separates the people who get through level 2 from the 70% who don't. If you've been stuck, if you've tried and quit before, what follows is going to change everything. Calisthenics looks simple. You see someone doing a perfect muscle-up on a bar in the park, or holding a flawless handstand for 30 seconds, and you think, I could probably do that if I trained. You're right, you could. But here's what nobody talks about. Calisthenics isn't one skill. It's a progression system. A 5-level ladder. Most people jump onto that ladder without knowing what level they're on, what the next level requires, or why they keep falling off at the same spot. They train hard for weeks or months, see the progress slow, feel the grind outweigh the excitement, and quietly walk away. But that's not true. What happened is simpler. They were lost on the ladder. Today, we're fixing that. I'm going to walk you through every single level, tell you exactly what belongs there, and give you the honest truth about what it takes to move up. Because once you see the full picture, every plateau starts to make sense and becomes solvable. The reason most people struggle isn't a lack of talent or willpower. It's a lack of context. They don't know where they are, where they're going, or what the terrain looks like between here and there. By the time you finish reading this, you will have all 3. Every single person who has ever achieved something extraordinary in calisthenics started in exactly the same place. On the floor. Doing push-ups. This is the foundation, and it is more important than any other level on this list, even though it's the least glamorous. Push-ups, bodyweight squats, lunges, plank holds, and basic pulling movements like dead hangs and inverted rows. Nothing that will impress anyone at the gym. Nothing that will get engagement on social media. Just you, the floor, and your own body weight doing the quiet work of building a body that can actually perform. Here's what almost nobody respects enough. This stage builds the connective tissue, joint integrity, and body awareness
Start
that
in
every
a dead
advanced
hang.
skill is built
Let your body
upon.
sway slightly.
The tendons
Now
and
engage your
ligaments
shoulders,
that will
pull
one
them
day
back and
hold a
down.
front lever or support a planche
Hold this
are being
engaged
formed
position.
right
This
here,
builds strength.
in these boring sessions. If you skip this phase because you think you're already fit, you will pay for it later. The injury doesn't always come right away. Sometimes it comes 6 months down the line when you're finally attempting something impressive, and your body reveals the gap you thought you'd sneaked past. How do you know you're actually finished? Not by how it feels. Not by boredom. By standards. When you can perform 20 clean push-ups with full range of motion and no compensation, 10 clean pull-ups from a dead hang, hold a 60-second plank without sagging, and drop into a deep bodyweight squat with heels on the floor and chest upright. Those are your green lights. Not sloppy reps, not almost there reps, clean, controlled, repeatable. That's your ticket forward. Most
Start in a
people
dead
spend
hang,
4
arms
to
fully
12 weeks
extended.
here.
Initiate the pull by
Don't
retracting
rush
your
it.
shoulder blades. Pull your body
Treat it as
upward
the
in a
most
controlled
important
motion.
investment
At the
in your
top, hold the
calisthenics
contraction,
journey,
then lower
because
slowly.
it is. And here we are. This is where 70% of people stop, not because they lack potential, but because this level has a serious identity problem. It doesn't feel like progress. There's no single skill you can point to and say, look what I can do. It is pure, disciplined, unglamorous volume work, and volume work with no external validation is exactly where most people's motivation dies. This stage is about building real strength. Reps, pull-ups
Keep your
to
shoulders
15 or
stable.
more, dips to
Lower
deep
down,
and controlled
aiming
repetitions,
for shoulder depth.
your squat progression
Push
moving
up with
towards single
control.
leg work.
One more
You're
rep.
adding
Great
volume,
form.
lots of it, and developing the discipline to train consistently when there's no shiny new skill on the horizon. Your pull-ups go from 10 to 11, from 11 to 12, and you wonder, is this what calisthenics actually is? The honest answer is yes. At this stage, this is exactly what it is. Here's the brutal truth nobody says out loud: this stage is boring on purpose. Your body is doing something extraordinary beneath the surface that doesn't show up in the mirror. It's laying down the nervous system adaptations, the tendon and ligament strength, and the refined motor patterns that every level 3 skill is going to demand in extreme and unforgiving ways. The muscle up you want? It runs on the infrastructure you're building right now, in these repetitive, unremarkable sessions. You cannot skip this.
What is
You
this?
cannot shortcut
Biceps
it.
with snakes? No way!
You cannot
Yoga
fake your
for
way
my
through
kidney?
it.
That's crazy!
The people who
Cardio
quit
with
during
geese?
this stage
This is
do
nuts.
so for one of 3 reasons.
I can't even! Too much!
The first is no plan. They're doing random
distractions.
Instagram workouts,
Time to focus.
chasing variety over progression, and wondering why they're not getting stronger despite training regularly. Randomness doesn't build a body, structure does. The second is comparison. They watch advanced calisthenics athletes, measure their level 2 progress against someone's level 4 results, and conclude they're failing. They're not failing. They're confusing the middle of the race with the finish line. The third is premature skill chasing. They get excited, attempt muscle-ups before building the foundation, fail repeatedly, get discouraged, and leave. The solution to all 3
Second
is the
attempt.
same. Find a
Smoother,
structured
closer to
program,
success.
commit
Explosive
completely,
pull.
track
Engage
your
your back.
numbers, and
Smooth
stop waiting
transition.
for
Control the
motivation.
rotation. Press up.
Motivation
Full
is
extension.
weather.
You've got it.
Discipline is a house. Build the house. Level 2 takes 3 to 6 months of consistent training, and that is completely normal. The people who make it through are those who decide that showing up is non-negotiable. They write down their reps, notice tiny improvements, and find satisfaction in a number going from 12 to 13. Small wins, stacked over months, become the foundation that makes everything above possible. This is where people's eyes light up. This is where the crowd-pleasing skills begin: muscle-ups, freestanding handstands, L-sits held for time, pistol squats, weighted dips, and weighted pull-ups. These are the movements that made you want to start calisthenics in the first place. But here's the critical shift. These skills require technical mastery, not just raw strength. Raw strength alone will not get you a muscle-up. The muscle-up is a pull-up combined with a precisely timed transition demanding coordination, timing, and specific strength through ranges of motion most people never trained. A millimeter too early and you miss it. A millimeter too late and you stall out.
Begin the pistol squat
The
descent.
handstand
Control
is
the
not simply
movement.
balance.
Keep your
It's
balance
full
steady.
body tension management,
Hold the position
active
at the
shoulder
bottom.
elevation, breath
Now,
control,
rise
and
back to the
spatial
start.
awareness that takes hundreds of hours of falling and correcting before it becomes reliable. This is where having a coach or well-designed program becomes enormously valuable. You cannot brute force your way through this one. What gets results is consistent, intentional, technically focused practice, 15 to 20 minutes daily on one specific skill,
Repetition
rather
practice.
than random
Let's
hard
begin.
workouts.
Rep 1.
The
Controlled
nervous
curl,
system
then lower.
learns through
Rep
repetition
2.
under
Maintain
manageable
form.
conditions,
Rep
not
3.
through exhaustion.
Consistency builds strength.
When the skill finally clicks, when you lock your first muscle up or feel that first freestanding handstand hold itself, there is no feeling in fitness that comes close. This stage rewards the patient and punishes the impatient. Expect anywhere from 6 to 18 months here. Enjoy every moment. You have earned the right to be here. This is where calisthenics becomes genuinely elite. Not impressive at the gym elite, but elite in an absolute sense, movements requiring years of preparation, a body specifically conditioned for these demands, and a mind trained to work in long time frames where progress is measured in millimeters and months. Front levers, back levers, planche progressions, weighted calisthenics at significant loads, complex bar combinations, and handstand push-up variations. The physics here are genuinely unforgiving. A front lever requires you to hold your entire body perfectly horizontal using only lats, core, rhomboids,
For the
and
planche
grip,
lean,
with
shift
no
your
mechanical
shoulders forward over
advantage,
your hands.
no leverage, nothing
Feel
to
the tension
compensate
building
with.
in your shoulders and
The
core.
planche asks your
Hold this
shoulders
position
and
to
wrists
build
to support
strength.
full body weight in a position the human skeleton wasn't naturally designed for. What does reaching this level require? An ironclad foundation built properly across previous stages.
Resistance bands assist
A
controlled
minimum
progression.
of 2 to 3 years of
Focus on
consistent,
form, not
structured
speed.
training. An
Now,
ego-free
for the
willingness
back and
to regress
shoulders.
when a sticking
Control
point
the negative.
reveals weakness.
Hey
The
everyone, welcome
mentality
back
of
to
a
the
long-term
gym.
student rather
Let's start
than
with a
short-term
bicep
achiever.
flex. Now, front lat
Athletes here
spread
study themselves
and side
constantly.
chest.
They film sessions,
Form is key. Thanks
analyze
for watching.
weaknesses, seek
All right,
feedback,
check out
and
this
treat
bicep
recovery,
flex.
sleep, and
Now let's
nutrition
review
with
it in
the same
slow
seriousness
motion.
as training.
See the slow
They
contraction? That's
understand
muscle
that
engagement.
training is only
Use
half
this
the
to perfect
equation.
your form.
What happens between sessions
Adjusting your
determines
form
whether
based on feedback.
adaptations take hold.
Pull your shoulders back and down.
Most serious athletes
Tuck your
spend
chin and
years
keep your
here,
head neutral.
entirely satisfied,
Engage your core and
rightfully
maintain a
so.
neutral spine.
By any objective
Begin in a
standard,
wide-legged
this
forward
is
fold.
mastery.
Inhale, slowly
A full
rise
planche
all the
held
way
for
up.
time.
Now
A
find a
one-arm
seated
pull-up
forward bend.
executed with control.
Wipe your brow, relax.
90-degree handstand push-ups. The iron cross on rings. These movements are performed by athletes competing at the highest levels, the names that define calisthenics at its outer
Let's
limits.
mix this all together.
They represent the intersection
spice
of
for flavor.
biomechanics, years of progressive
And a
overload,
squeeze of lemon.
genetic predisposition,
Perfect.
and a total
Ready to eat.
lifestyle orientation. They're the product of a decade, not a training cycle. Most people will never reach this level, not because of lack of potential, but because the
All
distance
right,
between
let's
where
get
most
back
start
to
and
it.
where this lives is immense.
Feel that power? I'm just
Covering
getting
that
started.
distance requires
One
effort,
more rep, push
sacrifice,
through.
consistency,
Yeah,
and
stronger
time in
every day.
quantities most lives don't accommodate. And that's completely fine. You don't need this level to have an extraordinary practice. You don't need it to be stronger, healthier, and more capable than you've ever been. But here's why knowing about this level matters. It changes how you think about your journey right now. It shows you that a body trained under its own weight with intelligence and patience is capable of things that look like superpowers. It proves that discipline applied consistently produces results that defy what most people think possible. And it reminds you that the path is long for everyone. The athlete holding a full planche spent years unable to hold a tuck planche. Every expert was once a beginner who refused to quit. So here's the question I want to leave you with. Which level are you actually on right now? Be truly honest. Not which level you want to be on. Not which you think you should be on. Which you are actually on, by its standards. What if the progress you've been waiting for isn't about training harder, but about going back, filling the gap you thought you could skip, and building the foundation your future self needs? And what would your calisthenics look like 12 months from now if you committed fully to doing this the right way, starting today? Drop your level in the comments. Be honest. There's no shame in any level, only growth or stagnation. If you're stuck at level 2, subscribe because a complete breakdown of how to push through is coming next. And if this helped you see your journey clearly, share it with one person who's been struggling. It might be exactly the map they've been